Good afternoon, everybody. This is Anthony DeRosa speaking with Platinum DB Consulting. I want to thank you all for joining the Project and Portfolio Management 6.1 presentation this afternoon. We're showcasing SAP's newest release of 6.1 PPM with Desktop Analyzer 1.0 for PPM. And actually, I do take that back. That's actually Desktop Analyzer 2.0 for PPM version 6.1. This is a series of presentations that we've been giving, and this one is actually a presentation that we're giving today in anticipation of our TA Cook event, which is actually the most popular PPM event on an annual basis. So what you'll see is you'll see that every year right around this time we bring our customers. So per the agenda, what would a product be without customers, right? That's exactly what it's all about. It's all about the customer. So our customers come to the annual TA Cook event, and at that event, Platinum DB, being the platinum sponsor at the event, showcases its solutions with its customers. Well, with this new release 6.1, not only are we integrating that with our new release of Desktop Analyzer, which is our new Desktop Analyzer Excel interface for PPM, but we're also showcasing at the event other things like our project and portfolio management rapid deployment solution with PPM, which is our PPM BPC solution. That's the only product in the marketplace that's certified to perform that function. And our other certified solutions like our Desktop Analyzer solution for PPM for doing capacity planning, project planning, etc., and our analysis for Excel tool. So we're bringing really everything to the show, including all of our project system solutions, all of our project systems analysis for Excel solutions, as well as our solutions for commercial project management, CPM, which is a nice integrated tool with PPM and PS, and we'll talk in another session what that's all about and how that works. We'll give you maybe a little insight at the latter part of this session as to how we're kind of bringing that all together. And for those of you that are interested, we'll be showcasing a lot of that at the TA Cook event. So highly recommended. Good event with a lot of content. We also offer the pre-event workshop, which is like 8 hours of us really just covering the end-to-end processes with all the different modules and kind of making all the pieces fit together. So it's a pretty cool event. If you need more information, please reach out to us, 312-560-1333, or check out our website. Okay, and the TA Cook website is available here on this slide. So Desktop Analyzer. Why would you want to use Desktop Analyzer? The real question is, why would you do a deployment without Desktop Analyzer? So when I think about our projects and I think about usability, I think about user acceptance, and I think about giving something to the user as opposed to just giving the user a bunch of work. This is giving something to the user. It's almost like a gift to the user, giving them something that they're comfortable with, that they're going to use, and they're going to use on a day-to-day basis. And this is the kind of tool that's going to be showcased here in the next few minutes. I'm not going to really talk slides. I'm going to go right in the system and make it happen. So this is a tool that a user doing for example, an item planning, which could be things being performed for performing a 5-year forecast, 10-year forecast. It could be for project estimating, forecasting. Could also be for capacity forecasting at a high level. Great fit for that. On the other hand, if you're doing things like resource planning with your tool, doing role-based planning, spreading hours, or doing things in FTEs by role as part of your planning, this is the tool. What about if you're doing assignments to people to projects? Yes, this is your tool. And if you want to do mass maintenance to projects, this is your tool. Now, you notice I keep saying the word projects, not project. It's one of the main offerings of the solution set. It's about multi-project maintenance. So if you walk away with this presentation saying, well, what did I really learn? You ought to learn that we have an easy to use tool. And number two, it's all about multi-project. I can't think of anybody that I work with that doesn't work on one or more project at the same time, wants to see the data at the same time, wants to manipulate it at the same time, and do kind of what if at the same time. So that's really what it's all about. The customers that use the tool, some of the customers that are going to be at this event are like the Conoco Phillips P66. They were a speaker at the TA Cook event in 2014. PerkinElmer, they're going to be at our event in 2015. They're going to be one of our showcase clients. They've been a desktop analyzer client of ours for several years. Very happy client, and they'll be telling their story. Varian Medical, a multi-year project and portfolio management client, deployed on 6.0 HANA with a Fiori front end and desktop analyzer. And we were fortunate enough and blessed to have them present with us a showcase case study in CIO magazine in 2014. And then other showcase clients, including GE, Pacific Gas Electric, and Northrop Grumman. So Pacific Gas Electric will also be at the TA Cook event, showcasing their power generation solution and talking about their experience with our Excel-based tools. So having said that, we're going to jump right in and get into the tool. As I said, I wanted to cut to the chase and be able to make sure that you could see the tool. So let's go into the tool. So when I think about Desktop Analyzer, I think of a Excel add-on tool. You'll see we got the item planning version up here on our screen. We've got the master data version at my fingertips. I got the resource planning, staffing, all at my fingertip. So if I want to refresh what I'm seeing here, you'll see that I've got in green here multiple projects that I can scroll up and down very easily, and I can see all the I can see all the different values, categories of values I want to plan. In this case, it's all about engineering. So it's about engineers, finance folks, external engineers, lead engineers, project managers, etc. that I want to plan. I can easily set a filter here to say I want to focus on the scope and estimate plus or minus 50% with the breakdown of the different roles. I can apply this change. Very easily done. It'll change that for all the projects. Now you can see all the projects up on the screen. Then I can go out here and I can perform my updating. I can go out here and say 200 hours. I did this on purpose to leave everything empty and kind of show you how I could easily just drag and drop and just paste values into here, right? Click on the update button, easily update the 3-4 projects, and send the data back to PPM. So it's very, very easy to do updating, right? It's very easy to plan. I can do this very quickly. I can make my changes very quickly. I can easily copy paste. And as I do this, I can also do reporting. So I can get some reports that pop up that include certain months, exclude certain months. I can see all my values, right? I can see my scope plus or minus estimate. If I had the other values included in scope, I could do that. So I can get immediate reporting, and that's done in a separate worksheet automatically. So now in 6.1, you can do the same thing, except you can't really do it multi-project, and it's not as easy to navigate and use. So what does that mean? If I go out here to my tool, it looks more like this, right? This is an example of a project, but I can go out here and bring up another session and show you what this looks like inside of really the native tool inside of PPM. So what that means is if I go out to PPM, this is PPM 6.1, go out to the portfolio view, bring up a project. Got a Captain Crunch project here for a consumer product example. And you'll see this is what I've got to do. I've got to go out here on a single project. I can't do this multi. Select my project, go into financial planning, bring up the planning screen, and it'll look something like this, for example. Okay. Now, the difference is going to be for example, if I was going to plan on, let's say, materials here, you'll see if I wanted to copy paste the material, I can't really do it. I'm trying. I can't do a copy paste. I've got to click on each cell, paste it in, click on each cell, paste it in, right? It's not really an Excel look and feel. It's a nice looking screen, but it's definitely, I can do some reporting out of here, things like that, nice, right? But I'm not going to really be able to do the same type of, Excel-based reporting that I'm showcasing in the desktop analyzer. So I can run a report like this, wait a few seconds, and allow the standard report to launch up. And if there's, it'll look more like this. Okay, so more of the native look and feel. And the reason why you don't see the data is because I didn't save it. So that's the other big difference. I don't need to save the data in Excel to make that happen. Okay, so this is really the difference. Is really the 6.1. It's got some new navigation. It's got some new look and feel, and I can display this in a list view. It's nice, very, very nice. So this, in conjunction with Desktop Analyzer, really makes for an even nicer, more desirable solution. Okay, so go back to the Desktop Analyzer. I'll jump from here, and I'll go back here, and I'll go into I'll load the financials for these items. And if I wanted to add another item, easy. You just go out here and say, look, I want to look across my projects. Click on the search button. I'll add another project, let's say like an H10. I'll say OK. And now I've got another item added, right? And now I can refresh my data. I can say this time I want financials as opposed to capacity. Refresh. And it brings all the financials down. So it'll bring all the data. It'll tell you if there's 100 of these, it'll tell you what the status is of each one being pulled down. Again, you'll see here I've got different views. I can plan contract values, internal labor, and material for capital. Then I've got my expense side. So if I only wanted to focus on the plus or minus 50% estimate at this point, I could just focus on that. And all my projects, you'll see more of my projects now. Okay, so that's one of the beauties of this. Now the other thing I can do is I can fire up another session, another worksheet, and I can fire up another version of Desktop Analyzer for resource planning. So I can go out here, authenticate that it's me, log in. This time I'm going to go after a resource pool. So instead of, I can go out here and search all my pools. These are some pools. I don't have to have a specific resource that I got to remember. This is a pool of resources. So if I've got a pool of IT resources that I'm responsible for, that pool might change based on changes in HR. So I can go out here and pick that pool. So you can see I've got a pool of IT resources. I can do this in hours or FTEs. I can specify the time frame. This is all for 2015, for example, but it could be multi-year. Reads the profiles from PPM, so it's completely synchronized. Click on OK and bring all my resources in that pool and all their respective projects. Okay, this is something you could do in native PPM, but not with this ease of use. Not where you're going to bring up projects this easily and do hard booking and soft booking and bring up one or more employees and one or more projects like this in this look and feel, and get your own color coding for the status of each of the resources. Okay, and then you can also put summaries at the bottom of your page. So this is again the ability to do role-based. Okay. We've got a new version coming out where we're also going to be adding some additional reporting and some additional features based on 6.1. And we'll show that in here in a second. So I was back in PPM here. What I'll do is I'll pick another example here. And this time I will actually close down some of these sessions, right? And we'll go back into PPM. And this time, instead of focusing on the PPM layer, on the portfolio layer, we'll go to the project layer and bring up one of the projects. So this is the new PPM 6.1 project screens, and you'll see that we have a new check conflicts function, which allows you to do things like, run a conflict check on what resources conflict with tasks. So if you've got resources that don't align with the scheduled tasks, they'll show up in this screen. If you go to the resource view, so you saw it in Excel, now you'll see it here. If I expand it all, you'll see here, then I go to the distribution and I open these all up, you'll see this is the view. So you can go out here and plan in hours, 4 hours. But again, you can't take these 4 hours and easily just drag and drop and do that, right? You're going to have to kind of do that manually. You could export to Excel, but you can't really do any importing, okay, and any reporting like I was showing you. So you got to manually put these in, etc. Okay, and as you enter the data, you can get some reporting out of here. So you still got some nice looking reports that are available. And like I said, you get pivot table like reports in Excel from us, meaning from the desktop analyzer tool. So this is one example. On the other hand, if you want to go down to the resource and you wanted to go in here and say, look, I want to go down into the staffing overview, right? And I want to go in and assign a resource and assign a candidate like this. This is what I would do. Okay, I'd go out here and then I could go to a field here and staff this thing, right? Right, and I can go out here and do a search on candidates, right? So this is what you would do in the native tool. You could select myself here, for example, for the task and assign me to the project. I did it twice. If I want to delete, highlight it, and then of course I could delete the staffing using the staffing button. Okay. So how would I do that in the native desktop analyzer tool? Well, go back to the tool here. As I said, if I wanted to go into the DA staffing edition, this is the role edition I've got up. I can launch another session, new workbook, have all three going at one time, and launch the staffing edition, which is down at the person level. Very easy. I've got my favorite projects waiting there for me to select from. I could select other projects or select other projects based on role function or role staffing or role type. And again, bring the project or projects into Desktop Analyzer. Okay, and you'll see that in this view, see a little bit more color, see a summary of all the resources that have been downloaded, which ones are overloaded, underloaded. Right, if I wanted to go here and wanted to add another project manager in addition to Anthony and Danny, I could just highlight the role and just say add staff. And if I knew Mikkel or I knew someone that started with the letter M, do a search. There's Mikkel. Highlight Mikkel. It shows me the staffing availability. It says, oh yeah, October doesn't look so good. November, December does. Okay, let's take Mikkel. And we've easily staffed Mikkel. If I want to delete Mikkel, I just highlight the row, click on delete, done. So pretty easy to work with these three versions of the tool. Okay, you can swap out staff. You can do searches based on staff global IDs if that's desirable. But again, you can do that in Desktop Analyzer. In the latest version, we're also going to be assigning, provide the ability to do task assignments inside of DA. So again, 6.1 Desktop Analyzer, complete support for that. 6.0 Desktop Analyzer, complete support for that. 5.0 complete support for that. Okay, so a lot of great stuff, and all of this is as I indicated, something that you can deploy right away as part of your project. You can deploy it after you're live. We literally read the configuration. There's not a lot to be done. Okay, in terms of getting something like this up and running. So in our deck, as I said here, we got a complete deck of information. Be more than happy to provide you more information on each of the versions and what they do. The Desktop Analyzer Staffing Edition, Item Planning Edition, more information on the Item Planning Analytics, information on Resource Planning by role, Master Data Edition, so you can do master data updates, and then also being able to do other things like decision point planning. If you wanted to use decision points and change dates and be able to make those dates shift resources out, we have the ability to do that. Okay, so those are some other things that we offer up, as well as the possibility of uploading timesheets through our Desktop Analyzer tool. We offer a timesheet solution. So if you have any of these needs and you think that we could be of service to you using the Desktop Analyzer, please reach out to us at either directly or at the TA Cook event this year, November 12th and 13th. Again, thank you for your time, and thank you for spending the time in your with your busy afternoon with us. And we look forward to seeing you at the TA Cook event. Thank you.